This is KGW News at Sunrise.
We deserve better because we serve our students. We're here doing it because we care about our students, but care doesn't pay rent.
Portland Public School teachers go back to the bargaining table today. We will break down the sticking points in the negotiations and how soon those teachers could strike if things fall apart.
And if you plan on flying with Alaska Airlines anytime soon in the future, your in-flight cup of coffee is about to get an upgrade. More on the Portland connection to Alaska's new mile-high cup of joe.
And we are live this morning in Dayton, coming at you slowly but surely as we arrive here at Heiser Farms in Dayton. Oh my goodness, they put together a terrific pumpkin patch every year, but I will tell you, Brenda, Christine, and Rod, Mother Nature did not put together a delightful forecast for us this morning. Oh, it is blustery. It is wet. I'm trying to cover up, but what's the point? I'm going to be standing outside for the next 2 hours to bring you the enjoyment of this pumpkin patch. And the real treat are the pumpkin cannons they have out here. So yes, we are heading towards the cannons. We're going to shoot some pumpkins, and we're going to do so despite the fact that it's raining like the dickens out here. Rodney!
Yes!
Help me!
I think he just gave your forecast. Yeah, raining like the dickens.
That is quite the arrival, though, isn't
I
it?
know.
This
I
morning?
like it. Fanfare.
Very impressive. Let's go to the radar. I tell you what, I was awakened last night several times by blustery winds blowing outside the windows and rain coming down. Now, Drew's down to Yamhill County. Right now, we've got heavy rain pockets in yellow scattered about. For the most part, it's just rain. There's McMinnville. Drew's down in Dayton. So you get the idea. It's still very wet. There are the bricks out there. 56 degrees, south winds at 16 miles per hour. Some gusts between 20 and 30 continuing to be seen across the area. Basically, we're going to continue to have heavy rain pockets come and go, blustery winds, at least into this afternoon. 56 now, 58 at noon. 2 o'clock, once we hit 2, and then we get to 3, and then we get to 4, we'll see gradual drying out and the winds will be easing, and we could be completely out of this by 6 p.m. tonight. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Rod. To Estacada now, where all schools in the district will be closed today because of a threat. So at this point, we don't know the exact nature of this threat, but this message was posted on the district website last night, saying officials are working with law enforcement and canceled classes out of an abundance of caution. We'll keep you updated with the latest information when we get it.
A third former student has come forward accusing a Salem Kaiser choir teacher of misconduct. Joshua Rist is on administrative leave. He worked at McNary High School before transferring to Calapooya Elementary. Less than 2 weeks ago, 2 former McNary students sued Rist and the district, alleging sexual abuse and negligence. Yesterday, the superintendent addressed the situation, saying a legal loophole allowed Rist to continue teaching.
Mr. Rist attempted to advance a deep relationship with students that was more clearly romantic and sexual only after they were technically no longer considered students in the eyes of the law.
The superintendent says she can't fire Rist, but added she will do everything in her power not to let him work with students again. She also called his actions unethical and morally unacceptable.
Portland Public Schools and the Portland Association of Teachers will be going back to the bargaining table today. The district is currently negotiating with the PAT and 3 other unions that have been negotiating a new contract now for months. Catherine Cook was at a rally last night where educators joined members of those other unions in a show of solidarity.
Outside Portland Public Schools headquarters, they marched. Hundreds of district employees from 4 different unions with one common grievance.
We're all being disrespected and disregarded in our attempts to serve our students.
Angela Bonilla is an elementary school teacher and president of the Portland Association of Teachers. She's grateful for this support during a critical time. Last month, the teachers union declared an impasse during negotiations with the district. As it stands, Bonilla says the district can declare that they're going to impose their contract, Or the teachers union, after a vote scheduled for next week, can give 10 days notice that they'll go on strike. They'll hold another bargaining session Wednesday.
I think it's really important for the public to know that we're still coming to the table. We're still trying to find a solution. It's the district that hasn't really moved on some of the issues that are most important to our students and our community.
Bonilla notes two major sticking points: more prep time for teachers and smaller class sizes. SEIU 503 Local 140 represents the district's custodians and nutrition services employees.
We are supporting the teachers. They're supporting us. All the unions together make a much louder voice.
Amy Silva serves lunch at Maplewood Elementary.
Sometimes I am the only one that gives them food for the whole day.
Silva says most cafeteria staff make less than $24,000 a year. She and others have been working without a contract since June.
Pretty crummy. Yeah, I have 2 jobs to try and make ends meet, so it would be nice to have 1 job.
What do we want? Safe workplaces! We don't get it? Shut it down!
There's also the union representing library assistants and paraeducators. They're also bargaining with the district. If they don't reach a deal, they could strike later this month. For Bonilla, each union, each employee matters. She hopes this unified message resonates with district officials.
We deserve better because we serve our students. We're here doing it because we care about our students, but care doesn't pay rent.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Our Catherine Cook reached out to Portland Public Schools to get the district's perspective, but she did not hear back.
The union representing pharmacy workers at Kaiser Permanente will head back to the bargaining table today. They're currently on a 21-day strike that began October 1st. They're asking for more pay, better benefits, and more staff. Both sides will meet again tomorrow and on Monday.
You could say a Portland coffee company is taking its coffee to new heights. Stumptown Coffee Roasters just announced a new blend for their partnership with Alaska Airlines.
Devin Haskins is live outside the Stumptown store on Division Street this morning. So Devin, fill us in. Tell us more about this.
Yeah, two Northwest brands coming together to create something that most Portlanders and myself definitely love. Is we're talking about coffee, of course, a new blend. Stumptown here, been around since 1999. They're a craft coffee company, and Alaska says they're the first airline to create a craft coffee blend that they'll serve on all their airlines here coming up soon. The two sides have been working together on this new blend for about close to a year, they say. The developers say they brewed the coffee both on the ground and in the air, taking multiple flights and brewing about 200 pots of coffee. I mean, if you're going to serve it up high, you might as well take a few flights and brew some coffee up there too and drink it. And if you didn't know this, because honestly I didn't, both companies say, and there's studies out there that show that the higher altitude actually affects our taste buds. So the coffee had to taste good up there as well.
Because your palate perceives things differently at elevation, we really tried to hone in on making this coffee sweet to have that elevated perception of sweetness, but also kind of pair well with cream that you would have in flight and Biscoff cookies.
All right, so when can you get this? Alaska says they'll start serving it on all their flights by December 1st. And if you can't wait, because who doesn't like free stuff, starting tomorrow, Stumptown says at each one of their Stumptown-owned cafes, they're going to give out to the 100th customer free basket of that blend of coffee, but also 2 vouchers for flights anywhere Alaska flies.
Wow.
Back to you guys.
That's
Interesting.
so cool.
Yeah, now what I got out of that story is that if we could take that horrible airline food
I was thinking
and yet
the same
eat
thing.
it down here on ground, it would be fine.
Yeah, it tastes better.
It just tastes bad because it's up there.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that elevation could change your taste buds.
I've heard that about
It's
ginger ale.
interesting.
People have said that about ginger ale. Yeah, I've had multiple people say that. That ginger ale tastes different up there.
It's a true story.
Interesting.
We flew Alaska down to Mexico and I was on vacation and back last week. And my daughter, now I remember this, she said just the other day that for whatever reason, the ginger ale she had on the plane was really good. That's
what I'm
my daughter's
saying.
testimonial.
Yeah.
See, the more you know. I'm
The more
learning
you know.
stuff.
Son of a gun, I'm not buying any of this. Here's a look at our radar satellite. Did you hear the wind? Did you hear it? This low, which was here yesterday when I talked to you, is now along the Washington coast, and it is our little wind producer. Currently seeing gusts generally under 30 miles per hour, but noticeably blustery out there. You can see the rain continuing to feed in pretty much all of western Oregon, and certainly from Eugene northward up to Seattle. Very wet. The yellow colors are the heavier rain pockets that are still embedded out there. So it's the same type of weather right now that we had when you went to bed last night. Here are the winds. Again, nothing overly alarming, just noticeable, right? South at 25 in Portland, south at 23 in Portland. These are the gusts, 26 up in Astoria. And this is kind of fun. We talked about this yesterday that I was going to check the Timberline Lodge camera as soon as I got up this morning, knowing the snow level could be between 5,000 and 6,000 feet. And there you have a little bit of snow on the ground up at Timberline. It's 32 degrees. Past temperatures, I did check, are sitting around 40, and it's just rain for your traveling. But kind of fun, early morning snow on the ground up at Timberline. All right, numbers 50s here on the west side, including 56 out of PDX, 50 out in the Dalles. Another rainy day in the Gorge as well. It's in the 30s out in John Day and Burns. This is a day where everybody has at least some rain in the forecast once again. Now here's the 7-day. Big story today is a little change through noon, but once we hit 2 o'clock, from 2 o'clock on, I think we'll slowly, gradually see the rain break up, the winds fade away, and we could be completely dry by early evening. Today's high 63. Tomorrow, fog to sun, 72. A bit of an east wind picking up during the day. And then Friday morning's dry. I still don't have confidence on the timing of when rain develops Friday afternoon, or does it hold off until evening. Saturday is rainy. We'll talk more about the eclipse viewing opportunities coming up at the next half hour of our show. And then I've got rain at times starting to end on Tuesday. So that is your forecast this morning.